Hello, I'm Jane Dutton with a wrap of the week's news. It's a week that's been dominated by Donald Trump's dangerous games and the future of South Africa's government of national unity, with the promise to reconfigure the GNU as the ANC invites other parties to join the coalition. Tensions between the ANC and the DA reached boiling point last week when it, along with the Freedom Front Plus, refused to back the fiscal framework and a VAT increase. Deputy President Paul Mashatile has likened dealing with the DA in the government of national unity to handling a crocodile.
And when you deal with a crocodile, you must deal with it with your eyes wide open. I'm lying on its back to cross the river.
The US president's impending tariffs sent markets tumbling across the globe, skimming the hairs of bear territory. Only then, on Wednesday, for the president to pause the punitive tariffs for 90 days for everyone other than China. China faces a rate of 125%. That's what happens when you refuse to be bullied by the leader of the world. Beijing asked to meet in the middle before imposing a tit-for-tat 125% hike on US goods.
I think there is a material risk that the year ahead is going to be very difficult. There's a reasonable chance that the US goes into recession and a few other countries go into recession too. And this is going to be one of those years where we have to have our hard hats on.
We're also witnessing a growing rift between Elon Musk and Donald Trump's inner circle. Musk called Peter Navarro, President Trump's top trade advisor, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks, unquote, after the two started arguing over tariffs last weekend. The whites-only Afrikaner settlement of Kleinfontein is facing a battle to survive. That's following the newly published valuation roll by the Tshwane municipality. The roll has the 900-hectare enclave estimated to be worth around 290 million rand. That's up from about 21 million it was valued at in the previous one. The increase in value is likely to see the settlement go from paying about 50,000 rand a month in rates to about 2 million a month. Last year, the Gauteng High Court declared Oranje Light to be an illegal settlement that was not compliant with the Tshwane municipality's land use regulations.
They're proposing a ridiculous tax, which is basically closing down Kleinfontein if it should go ahead. That is, I can equate it to a land grab. I can equate it to an eviction.
The municipality has received about 4,000 disputes from residents accusing the city of overinflating the value of their properties. We heard of a staggering number of reasons that led to the building collapse in George, May last year. A probe into the disaster, which claimed 34 lives, found negligence, misconduct and safety breaches.
In summary, the investigation concluded that the collapse of a building was as a result of systemic failures across multiple levels of oversight, non-compliance with the regulatory standards, mismanagement by both NHBRC and the project personnel, and these failures included irregular status upliftment, late enrollment, inspection lapses, material quality issues, and safety violations. The report points largely on the failures of the inspectors and internal control in as far as NHBRC is concerned.
More than 500,000 jobs will be at risk if proposed amendments to the Private Security Industry Regulation Act are implemented. Last week, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu quietly drafted proposal to the Act without consultation with the private security sector. The amendments seek to essentially disarm the private security sector by imposing strict regulations of what types of firearms and ammunition they may possess. Shopping malls, churches, public and private schools, stadiums, taxi ranks and restaurants, these are some of the areas where private companies will be prohibited from operating should draft amendments take place. The heavy rains have led to flooding in many parts of the country, including the Vaal. Some residents were ordered to leave their homes after the Vaal Dam opened 5 sluice gates.
This has also forced evacuations in the area, with the local municipality warning of safety hazards. Those living here say that not enough is being done by government to ensure that their lives are protected. Now, it is only the beginning of what could be a calamitous catastrophe, with persistent rainfall and calamitous weather expected over the next coming days. Now, the City local municipality says its disaster management teams remain on high alert with more being expected to be done to assist those who may be heavily affected by the inclement weather. On the other hand, businesses have had to shut their doors, claiming that they fear the worst is yet to come. To compound all of this, there are rising fears of localized flooding. Monke Zikoko, Eyewitness News at the Val Dam.
Sudan has told the International Court of Justice that the United Arab Emirates was the, quote, driving force behind what it called a genocide in Darfur via its alleged support for rebels fighting the Sudanese army. Khartoum has dragged the UAE before the ICJ, accusing it of complicity in genocide against the Mashatile community through their backing of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces that have been battling the Sudanese army since 2023. The UAE denies supporting the rebels and has dismissed Sudan's case as, quote, political theatre. And South Africans can celebrate healthier markets and the 90-day tariff pause by sipping on an award-winning whiskey. The Three Ships Whiskey Bourbon Cask has officially been crowned the world's best blended whiskey. It's beaten competition from, among others, Scotland, Ireland, Japan and America at the prestigious 2025 World Whiskey Awards in London.
The award shows the importance of South African whiskey globally. This also shows that our whiskey can compete on a global market. If you look at the whiskey industry in South Africa, it has been growing. This award proves that we are experts in what we do. Furthermore, this award opens opportunities for us to sell our whiskey in other countries. This win is not only for us as a distillery, but for South Africa as a whole.
And from me and the rest of the team, we wish you a very good weekend.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.